behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello everybody, it's Palm Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a great interview coming up shortly. But don't forget about that subscribe button and bell below you there. You're always going to get the latest episodes whenever they're available. And if you want to leave a comment on the comment section, you can. We'd love to hear from you there. And check the description part of this interview because we'll have contact info. And contact info will be repeated again at the closing credits at the end of this episode, so stay tuned for that. From Chattanooga, Tennessee today, we have Donnie Goins, a very awesome artist as usual, and I think you're really going to love him, and we're going to get to that in just 1 second, but first here's a quick word from the Caden Gordon Show, so don't go away, we'll be right back right after this.
The Caden Gordon Show, today's best country mix, is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
Okay, we're back, and with us from Chattanooga, Tennessee today, we have Donnie Goins. Thank you so much for joining us, Donnie.
Thank you for having me, Paul. I've been looking forward to being here, man. It's nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. The first question I usually ask is, how did you get started? I mean, I'm sure you always wanted to be an artist since you were a little kid. Maybe it goes deeper than that, but tell us in your own words. We'd love to hear your story.
Well, I guess I started singing in church when I was probably 5 or 6 years old. I think most people did. Then, man, in the 90s, when Toby Keith and Tim McGraw and Alan Jackson and Doug Stone and Travis Tritt and Tracy Lawrence, I mean, you could go on and on and on. When all those guys came out in the 90s, and, karaoke was huge back then. I was actually working at a bar and got up and did a karaoke song. I think the first song I ever did was Don't Take the Girl by Tim McGraw. And everybody was like, hey, man, you can sing. And I was like, no way. They're like, yeah, you can sing. And I'm like, oh. So the guy that owned the bar had me start doing karaoke shows for him. And I did karaoke shows for about 2 or 3 years, and then ended up putting a band together. And we played all over here in Chattanooga, played the Riverbend Festival, which was the big Chattanooga festival. They don't have it anymore. Then got married and started having kids, man. And I quit chasing music and started working and raising kids, and all the kids are grown and got divorced. And in 2020, I was working for a company that I traveled a lot for. And I was in pretty much a different city in a different hotel room every night. And was sitting there one night and thought, man, you really ought to be doing something constructive. So I went the next day to a pawn shop in Nashville, Tennessee, and bought a guitar. And went online, went on YouTube, and I hope you don't mind me plugging him. Found a great guy, man. He's the country song teacher, Matt McCoy. He makes it very easy to learn the guitar, and you actually start learning songs right off. And it's free. And I taught myself how to play the guitar and wrote my first song about 3 weeks later, and been going wide open ever since then.
Wow, that's a great story there, Donnie. I know you had many years of success. I hope you have many more there. What would you tell us about some of the influences? Now, I know you mentioned Tim McGraw. I'm sure he was a big influence on you.
Yeah, probably my biggest influence is George Strait.
George Strait?
King George, man. King George is, and probably always will be the king of country music. But George Strait, I really liked Doug Stone a lot. Tracy Lawrence, Of course, Tim McGraw, Travis Tritt. I mean, just the 90s. I think the style of music that I write and I play is still a 90s kind of country music. It's still that era. And I guess it's just because that's what I grew. That's what I sang all the time was that 90s country, man. So I kind of still write that way.
Yeah, and you do a great job of that. Like I said, all those bands were legendary you mentioned, and you can't go wrong with those bands. Now, I'm sure you could get all your music on streaming, like Apple Music, Amazon Music, and so forth. Do you have an official website? Tell us on social media where we can find you as well.
Well, I don't have a website yet. It's actually being built right now.
Okay.
But I am on every single streaming platform that there is. Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, Amazon, Pandora, iHeartRadio, everything. And I'm on there just as Donnie Goins Jr.
Okay.
And then on Facebook, it's Donnie Goins OBF. And that stands for the original big fella. That's what I go by. That's what the OBF stands for. I'm the same on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, sorry, and Facebook. I don't really mess with Snapchat. Snapchat's got too many filters. Granny Clampett can make herself look like Ellie Mae on there, so I stay off of that.
Right. Well, everybody, check out any streaming platform for Donnie Goins Jr. and all the social media sites. I know you would love that, or he would love that, excuse me. And we're getting ready to play a song, and I'm sure this is on all streaming platforms as well. It's called Take Me Out of Nashville.
Take Me Out of Tennessee.
Okay, Tennessee, I'm sorry. And it's a great song. I've heard it a few times. I really love it. Tell us the story behind that. I'm sure it's literal, but tell us.
Well, no, actually, it's not. In 2020, when COVID hit, 97.3, which is a local country station here, Channel 12, which is a local TV station, and the Chattanooga Area Food Bank decided to have a local songwriters competition because everybody was stuck at home. And I sat down one day and I thought, man, I really want to write something that sounds like something that Hank Williams Jr. or Merle Haggard or Waylon Jennings would write. And out came Take Me Out of Tennessee. But see, the gist of the song is you can take me out of Tennessee, but you can't take the Tennessee out of me. So it's not necessarily literal. But yeah, it's a great song. I had a lot of fun writing it. It's got kind of a bluesy country feel, and that's what I really like.
Okay, well, that's a great story. I'm glad you explained that to us. So we'll be playing Take Me Out of Tennessee in just a minute. But before we get into that, that's about all the time we have for now, Donnie. And we want to thank you so much for being on the show. If you have anything new to plug in the future, just contact me. Maybe we'll have it back on sometime.
Well, I appreciate you asking or having me on the show, Paul. I'm actually looking at doing a Southeastern tour here soon. We haven't put everything together yet, but we're definitely working on putting a Southeastern tour together. And on Facebook, if anybody in the Southeast is watching and they want to book me, I've got a booking page where they can go right on there and book me.
Okay, well, everybody do that. I know he would really want to hear from you, and he'll give me all the dates. And right now, let's go with it. Take Me Out of Tennessee, and it begins right now.
I got my reasons for being the way I am. If you ain't walked a mile in my boots, then you just won't understand. By the grace of God, I was born in the Southland.
Now some of y'all might think that's a bad thing, but I thank God every day for these hills of Tennessee where I was born and raised. I couldn't have asked to be raised in a better place. And you can take me out of Tennessee, but you can't take the Tennessee out of me, no. And you can take me out of Tennessee, but you can't take the South out of me, no. Now I can't watch the news to see what's happening in this world. Some of y'all should have seen the woodshed more when y'all were boys and girls. I don't expect a damn thing that I ain't worked for. And we work hard, but we play hard, that's for sure. You can take me out of Tennessee, but you can't take the Tennessee out of me, no. Come on down to Tennessee. If you're looking for trouble, it's what you'll find, you best believe. Cause you can take me out of Tennessee, but you can't take the Tennessee out of me, no. And you can take me out of Tennessee, but you can't take the pride of the Southland out of me.